Hey there, tech enthusiast. Welcome back to Prime Coding. I am Aditya, and today we are solving the recently asked coding problems in online assessment of Accenture on campus 2025 batch. So these questions were pretty good love level because they were a story that you need to understand and create your own approach. The approach would be very simple. So in this video, we'll solve the recently asked problem. But now, I have a request for you all, which is do share your interview experience or coding interview questions if you want to help your community and if you want to help your juniors as well. So we can helpful to each of you and everyone who are just helping us to create videos for your peers or for your juniors. Now, you can either share your interview questions or anything that you want to share with us either on Telegram, WhatsApp, Instagram, email, or you can DM us also. All the links would be provided in the description. You can just head over to it and help your peers. Now, you are given an array A, and these problems were shared through a candidate who recently wrote this Accenture online assessment, okay, and few more that is lined up for you. So you just need to focus here. Now, having some dividend further, you are given three numbers, okay, D, Q, R, fantastic. A dividend can be formed using rules that states, okay, so dividend equivalent to divisor into quotient and remainder, and these all three terms is given in the quotient itself, okay. So your task is to find and return an integer value representing the index of dividend if present in array, or if dividend not found, so we need to return -1. So pretty standard or straightforward problem. If you have solved the Accenture coding sheet, you can find this part of the problem in that sheet as well. So if you want this video, you can just head over to the Accenture playlist. In that you can find the crack Accenture coding sheet, okay. The link is also provided in that video, or you can join a Telegram group. A bot will welcome you with the drive link of all the resources being gathered there, okay. Now, there is the input array, okay, 15, 10, 30, 25, 50, great. And we have 5, 2, 5 with us. Now calculate a dividend that we need to do, okay. So 5 into 2, this is the explanation that we wrote from our side, but in the online assessment, you will not find this line, okay. So basically what we need to do, 5 into 2 plus 5, 15 that we need to calculate it, and the dividend would be 15 present at the 0th index, because if you mark this here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can see 15 present at 0th index, okay. So a function returns 0. How we can do this question, which is a very easy question, I would say. You just need to create a variable or anything that you want to. Let's say we'll create a dividend variable, and what is the formula, which is a divisor, and divisor is given to us, and quotient is also given to us, plus what the next thing is remainder, okay. So you will get a remainder as well. So now we have this, we calculated D here. Now a simple linear search that algorithm you need to write, and bingo, you solved your question, okay. So linear search has been called, and whether the element exists in the array, it will return 0 or it return false. So without wasting time, let's hop to the solution, because this solution is very easy to code, okay. So now def find dividend index, that we have created a function. So people were asking me why you are using function, Aditya, every time. Do it mandatory? No, it is not mandatory to write functions in your online assessment, but I would recommend you to write, because it shows code clarity, code usability, and it helps you to debug your code easily, okay. So simple, I have written a function which is calculating a dividend, okay, D into Q into R, a basic equation, that's it. And dividend in A, if exist, then return A dot index and dividend, and return -1 if it is not there, okay. So it will return -1 and our task is done. So as you can see, I already specified my array here, like 15, 10, 30, 25, 50, 5, 2, 3, 5, 2, 5. But in the exam, you need to take input, okay. Now if they are asking you to take user input, then you can use of map to take a space separated input, or you can just write eval if you want, or anything. If you don't know how to take input, I have created for TCS and QT, okay, how to take input. You can just watch it. You will get a better idea how to take a space separated input, or I will let you know as well in the next video. Just let me know you don't know, okay. Now this is a very easy question, and in this video I will talk about C++ and Java code as well. So all this link you can find in the description. There is a GitHub provided to you. Just have a look over it. All the problem solution would be there in 3 of the languages. Fantastic. So int find the dividend index, vector has been initialized similar to the Python. In that we don't need to initialize or let our function know the data type of the particular variable. It automatically detects. Now for int I given to 0, I is less than a of size, simple. If it exists or anytime I found that it is equivalent to dividend, then please return the particular index or is return the -1, which means you have not found it. So yes, if we talk about the time complexity and the space complexity, the time complexity is order of n because you are traversing throughout the array, and the space complexity is 1 because I'm not creating any further space or auxiliary space to compute the result. Okay, so pretty constant space and good program. Now in the Java code, as same we can the same we saw in the C++ as well, the same thing that we have written, and time complexity remains same. You can find this code on the GitHub as well. Now Sandip, Shubham, Adesh, Varun, Mukesh, these are the people who cracked TCS Accenture in their placement drive. How they have cracked? With the use of one-to-one mock session. Okay, not only these, you can find n number of success story on our primecoding.in. Now in the mock session you will find a comprehensive 1 hour of detailed discussion on your resume, on your tech skills, on your coding and your representative skill would be checked here. And after that, you will get your resume review, personalized feedback on your mock session, what all thing that you need to improve, what is your weak point and how you can improve it, and the suggestions for future improvement, which means a roadmap how you can crack your online assessment or the interview. Okay, and expert guidance will be given to you. Now, for this, you just need to head over to primecoding.in and you're good to go to ace your interview and make your parents proud. Now, the second problem is Bob goes to supermarket to shop candies, okay, represented by array A for Halloween party. His mother gave him some money M. Due to festive season, there are several offers in the supermarket. One such offer useful for Bob is if the price of the candy is multiple of 5. Okay, so this is the first point that we need to check, and he can buy it without spending any money. Otherwise, he will spend money equivalent to A of 5, which means the element present in array, which is the price of the particular candy. Fantastic. So Bob can shop as long as he has money. Your task is to find and return the maximum number of candies Bob can buy. Okay, so 3 things I notice in this program is if the candy cost is divisible 5, which is a multiple of 5, then you don't need to charge anything. It would be free for you. And if the particular candy cost is not a multiple of 5, then you need to pay whatever amount you have in your hand. So it would be deducted from your M cost, okay, because they states we have M money with us, okay, so it will be deducted from M cost. I can write it in a particular way, which is M equivalent to A of I, which means a candy cost. Okay, and the third point is we need to find the maximum of the candy that Bob can buy from their collection, from his collection, whatever he bought from his home. Great. So, and assume that it is a zero based indexing, which is you can take it consider or it is not an issue. You just need to think, because in zero based indexing, when you want to return your index or index point, then it makes sense because you need to increment by 1. But here we don't need to return index or stuffs. We just need to find the maximum of the candies that he can buy. Okay, so yes, let's see the input array which is given to us, which is 5, then we have 10, then we have 12, then we have 15, then we have 7, then we have 6. Okay, now how many candies do Bob buy from here? So 3 cases I know, then the same I need to apply it here. So if it is divisible 5, let's say if it is divisible 5, it's free, and if it is not, then we need to subtract it from the given M. Okay, so these are the 2 tasks, which is itself an if condition that you need to write and your code will run. Okay, but let's dry run it. So you have 5, 10, 12, 15, 7, 6. But here I can see is it is not in a particular manner. It is an unsorted array. But if it is an unsorted, it may fail in different test cases as well. So it would be very good if we sort this array in a specific manner, which is 5, 6, 7, then we have 10, then we have 12, then we have 15. Now I can see in my given amount how much candies I can buy by my first site, is it? So let's start dry running it. Now I saw the 5 at the very first index. So 5 is a multiple of 5, so or divided by 5, which means this candy is just free for Bob. So, okay, I need to create a candy or I need to create an answer variable which is being incremented to 1. Whether 6 is multiple of 5, let's see. No, it is not. Then what happen is you need to buy it from your given amount. Okay, so you currently have m equivalent to 20. Now 20 minus 6 will give you 14 left. So let me rewrite it, like how many amount that we have now is 14. Okay, now candy count has become 2. 7. Do 7 is multiple of 5. Then what I need to do? I need to again subtract it from my total amount, which becomes 7 here now. Okay, and the candy count will increase. Now, similarly, 10 is multiple of 5. Yes, 10 is multiple of 5. Then simply the candy count would be increased and no need to do reinitialization of subtraction addition in my money. And 12, do 12 is do 12 is a multiple of 5? No, it is not. Then what I need to do? I need to see whether I have an equivalent amount or greater than that. But no, I have 7, but it is required is 12 rupees, but I can't do it. So we'll skip this point and we'll check 15. Okay, 15 is the last point as well as is a multiple of 5, so it will be free. And total number of candies that I saw, which is 5. Okay, because in question it doesn't say that if anytime I got to know that I'm not able to buy something, you need to terminate your loop or you need to terminate your process. Okay, so I need to see each and everything, and this will be the efficient approach of this program. So if I tell you how we can write this is, I need an array. Okay, my function have an array as well as an m. Okay, now I need to count the candy, or let's say I will create an answer variable which will store my answer. Now for what I do next is, for num in array, which is it will take out each and every element present in an array, such similar to for each loops. Now if my num is, I would say, if it is greater than or equivalent to my money, whatever I have. But before that, I need to check one condition as well. Okay, otherwise you will do wrong. If you jumble your sequence of writing program, your output will not get passed or your test case will not get passed. Okay, so if your num, you saw that it is divisible by 5 or it is a multiple of 5, you need to directly increment your answer. That's it, and you don't need to anything. But anytime, any case you found that else if or elif where your num is greater than or your num is lesser than, okay, because I need to reinitialize it. If my num is lesser than my total budget, then simply just reduce the total num with it, just reduce the particular candy cost from my budget and increment my candy cost. Simple. And in the last, just return it, just return your answer. So this would be your code of this particular program, which is pretty easy though, is it? And without wasting time, let's see the code in C++, Python and Java as well. Now in Python, you can see a max candies where A and M, where A is the given candy cost and M is the budget do Bob have. Now a dot sort, which is sorting the array so that we have a sequence of candy cost. It will help us to find out the maximum of it candy that Bob can buy. Now count equivalent to 0 because I need to return the answer and number of count of candy that he actually bought. Now for price in A, if price is a multiple of 5, please increment it. If it is not multiple of 5, then check whether the budget has that much of amount do candy required to buy. If we have, then please increment your candy count and just reduce the particular money from my budget. Okay, now return the count and I guess you're done with your code. Now if I tell you, please take the user input if it is possible. Okay, it is very simple guys. Let me tell you, a map and whatever data type that you want. Okay, integer I want. Then what next you need to do is you need to tell, okay, it would be, you need to take an input and the input dot split, I would say input dot split, which means split by spaces. Now you are okay to take a list of the input which has space. Let's say what I mean is 5, 10, 12. If compiler give this input to taken as an array, your line will take it. Okay, now, or you need to write list here as well to convert it into the list. Or now 20 is the budget and we're passing into the candies, and whatever count we have, it will be returned to the function and we'll print it here. So let's discuss the time complexity and the space complexity as well. So do you think the time complexity of is of this code is O of n? No guys, the time complexity of this code is O of log n, because we are using the sorting algorithm which usually takes n log n as in time complexity, and the space complexity would be O of n because I'm not taking any other auxiliary space to solve this code. And similarly, you can see the code of C++ where the sort has been used and count is 0. Now for each loop that we are initializing it, and every time I check if it is multiple of 5, you need to increment your count, and if it is not, then please check whether you have a sufficient amount left. If you have that particular amount, then please increment your counter, then reduce it with the price, and yes, you are done with your code. Okay, now you might ask, Aditya, do we use STL here? You can use STL. There is no issue because you need to import. So instead of importing 3 lines, you can just use bits/stds.h. It will do your work. Okay, similar to apply here as well as in Java case as well. Sorting thing, finding the count. If it is multiple, increment. If it is not, check your budget and increment the counter if it satisfies the condition, and just return the count, call it by your main function. So this is the particular code from our side. And if you want the preparation resources of TCS, you can find a TCS playlist in our channel, or recently I've uploaded a cheat sheet as well. You can find the solution of cheat sheet in a cheat sheet cracker series that I recently started, as well as if you want that cheat sheet, you can just check the description. You can find the cheat sheet link as well. Following with the Accenture and the you can see the Capgemini is also, I have also uploaded a Capgemini cheat sheet where the Capgemini kickstart their on-campus hiring drive for the 2025 batch. So if you are preparing for it, this sheet will help you to crack your Capgemini on-campus placement. So thanks for watching this video till now. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe it, like this video and share with your friends so that you can contribute in their career as well by referring them a good content to practice for Accenture company drive. So we'll meet you with a new video soon.